Hello students, this is Sujala from DBS Institute of Technology, Kaveri. Today I discuss about the geothermal energy. So first of all we want to know that what is geo. Geo means the word geothermal comes from this Greek word that means geo means earth and thermal means heat. That means the heat extracted from the earth is nothing but the geothermal energy. That means so geothermal is heat from within the earth. We can use the steam and hot water produced inside the earth by heating buildings or generate electricity. So it is a one type of the renewable energy sources. That means there are a number of renewable energy sources are there. We know that we already discussed about the solar, wind, like that. So many renewable energy sources are there. So this is about the one of the renewable energy source, because the water is replenished by rainfall and the heat is continuously produced inside the earth. So we all know that the inside the surface of the earth there is the temperature must be there. Due to that temperature, whatever the heat produced from that temperature, the water will be absorbed that heat and it will be generate that electricity. So here the that means the heat extracted from the earth is nothing but the geothermal energy. So we will discuss some part about the inside the what is earth. So there are the number of parts inside the earth is so inside there is the iron core must be, it is that but magma, and another then it will be there is the beneath of the magma there is the crystal rock where there, and there is the permeable rock must be there. So that means the total the part will be the upper layer will be called as the crust and the inner it will be called as the mantle and magma. So geothermal energy is generated in the earth core about 4,000 miles below the surface. So here the temperature hotter than the surfaces are continuously produced inside the earth by the decay of radioactive process. So this process will be happens due to in all rocks. So there is the different layers we already discussed. There is the different layers must be there. If there are mainly the core itself has two layers are there. So a solid iron core and an outer core. So these two are made up of a hot melted rock called as magma. And the another one that is mantle. This mantle is the whatever the surrounding of the core, and it is about 1800 miles thick. So it is made up of a magma and rock. And then the outer part must be there, it is called as crust. The crust is the outermost layer of the earth. The land that forms the continents and the ocean floors, it can be 3 to 5 miles thick under the oceans, and nearly it is 50 to 35 miles thick on the continents. This crust is broken into pieces called as plates. This magma comes close to the earth's surface near the edges of these plates. So when there is suppose a volcanoes occur, the lava that erupts from these volcanoes is partly magma. So there are the main parts must be there, that is the crust, it is the complete the outermost, and the lower part that is the magma, whatever the heat will be produced it there, and then it will be the core. In this core it will be this core will be surrounded to the mantle. The temperature of these rocks and water get hotter, and this hotter go deeper under. That means when there is the suppose whatever the water will be comes from the permeable rock, whatever the heat extracted from that magma, that heat will be absorbed that magma and then it will be produce the heat energy, and then this heat energy is goes to the form of the turbine, that means which turbine is coupled to the generator. From that generator we get the total electrical energy. So most geothermal reservoirs are deep underground, which is no visible clues. Here geothermal can sometimes find in the surfaces of volcanoes. That means the holes where volcanoes gases are released, and hot springs and geysers, and there means most of the geothermal resources are found along major boundaries with earthquakes and volcanoes are concentrated. So most of these geothermal activity of world occurs in the area called as ring of fire. It is called as the ring of fire. So here basically this geothermal energy, that means the total the geothermal energy from the earth is almost inexhaustible as solar or wind energy. So basically this is the total structure of the geothermal energy. Whatever I discussed, the inner part, that will be magma, and then it will be the crystal rocks, and then permeable rocks. The outer layer, whatever the heat extracted from the magma, it will be collected to the permeable rocks, and then it will be gives the heat energy. So basically this geothermal energy will be close to the surface. This whatever the magma comes close to the surface, it heats the groundwater, found trap the porous rocks, and whatever the permeable rocks, porous rocks must be there. It is and then such whatever the heat will be produced here. Here the hydrothermal resources, that means water means hydro and heat is thermal, and then it is also called as large areas. These hydrothermal resources is also called as geothermal reservoirs. So this main thing, what are some of the main applications of this geothermal energies are, it is direct using and heating systems which use hot water from springs or reservoir near the surfaces, and it also produces generating of the electricity in the power plants required water and steam at very high temperature. Geothermal power plants, it will be generally built where geothermal reservoirs are generally located in the miles or two of the surfaces, and it is the geothermal heat pumps used to stable the ground of the water temperature near the earth surfaces. So basically this is the total whatever the internal structure of the geothermal energy. So main thing in this geothermal, we discuss about what are the different applications are there and where it will be uses. Basically this geothermal, I tell that generation of electricity, that what the main thing of the application of the geothermal is, this geothermal power plants are usually installed within 2 miles radius of the geothermal reservoir. So what are the basic applications of this geothermal means farming. So in cold countries, geothermal energy is used to heat greenhouses or heat water. This is used for the irrigation purpose also, and then the industry purposes. When you take about the industry purposes, geothermal energy is used in industries for the purpose of food, dehydration, milk pasteurizing, gold mining, etc. And when about the heating, so this is also used for the heating. This energy is used for heating building through district heating systems, in which hot water through spring is directly transported to the buildings through pipelines. So the main applications of this is farming, industry and heating. And then what are the advantages of this geothermal energy means, this is free and abundant. That means the constant flow of heat from the earth makes this resource inexhaustible and limitness to an estimate time span. That means it is this energy is simply say that it is free and abundant. And this next one you have taken as this is non-polluting and it is environmentally friendly. That means for this energy there is no harmful gases will be released. And this geothermal energy, it will be generate for the employment purpose also. This means there is the power plants must be there. They are highly sophisticated, so large scale installation must be required. So this employment for skilled and some purpose there is skilled and unskilled laborers are very large scale at each power plant. Then it can be used directly. That means in cold countries this geothermal energy is used directly for melting of ices on the roads, or heating houses in winters, or greenhouses, or public baths, etc. So these are the total some of the advantages of the geothermal. Then there are some of the disadvantages out there. So that means what are the disadvantages? Means the cost point of view, it will be high installation cost. That means the installation of geothermal plant is to get steam from deep under, then it will be whatever the heat will be, it is in the inner part of the earth, it will be in the form of the deep. So the earth required a huge investment in terms of the materials and human resources. Next, when it has a transportation and transmission under geothermal energy cannot be transported easily, because once the tapped energy is harnessed, it can only be used efficiently in the nearby sources. Next, limited to particular regions. This geothermal energy is available for limited regions, some of which are highly inaccessible, such as high rise mountains or rocky terrains, which this process is economically infeasible in many of the cases. And impact, some impact of environment. That means geothermal sites are present deep under the earth, so the process of drilling may be result in the releasing of some high toxic gases into this environment nearer the sites. Some are provide fatal to the workforce. That means some part of the environmental it will be impacted. So the main we discuss about the main uses will be the direct use of and heating the pumps and electric power generation. So in this class we discuss about the what is geothermal energy, what are the inner surfaces of the earth, and what are the applications, and what are the direct and what are the advantages and disadvantages. In the next class we discuss about the what are the types of the geothermal energy.